So in case you haven't guessed, I'm kind of a magpie and I collect stuff. Rocks and minerals and vintage stuff and just cool stuff that I like. And I used to go like once a year to the antique mall and go in with a set amount of cash and just see what bargains I could get. And last year I got this thing. And it's a poison ring. And my friend said it's London Blue Topaz. I don't know if it is. I think that's a deeper color, but you can put your poison in. Oh, come on, dude. And tip it out. Of course, it's only for show, but back in the day, Lucretia Borgia, I think, poisoned a bunch of people. And my girlfriend's like, yeah. And then she made poison makeup and sold it to her girlfriends, and they put it in their husband's, I don't know, coffee or whatever, because apparently she'd watched the show or something, and I never saw it. I don't know why, but I know who she is. Then I have little charms because I make the sun catchers, and I'm never going to get my table cleaned off because there's so much junk on it. But my son's girlfriend gave me these little measuring cups, so I use one of them as a dish to keep my my rings and stuff. But these are all sentimental things, and nobody's gonna buy silver right now. I would get maybe $5 for that ring. I think I only paid $35 for it to begin with. But this little Triskelly I got in Edinburgh a long time ago. It's what do you call it? Like a New Age shop or something on the toll road. And then later went back, got married there, and the Unitarian minister from Glasgow was this kind of New Agey type. He's like, oh, I used to read tarot cards over there. So that was kind of cool. And then he had been to Maine and lived with the Shakers for a while. The Shaker village is like an hour south of here. And so Rob and I went to the festival, the fall festival, and they had the people making brooms, and they had a blacksmith there, all kinds of cool stuff. And they had the Scottish cattle, the Highland cattle, and the lady came out with a brush, said, watch this, and the cow came right up to her because she knew the lady was going to brush her. It was really cool. So I got a lot of pictures. We had a fun time. And I got this amber ring in Notting Hill because they have a big flea market there every Saturday, and we happened to go there and see it. And there was this little Polish lady selling amber, and I said, how much? And she said 12 pounds, which is something like $20 at the time, late 90s, I think. So I got it. But I keep stuff for sentimental reasons, and like I said, I'm not going to get rid of something I got in London on a trip, you know. But I collect weird stuff. Like this is a depression glass ladle, like a mayonnaise ladle, would have gone with a dish. And there was some shop uptown in Winthrop, and this lady had it, and I saw it. It jumped out at me. And then if you have a black light, a little flashlight like this, watch that. I don't know if you can see it. It glows because green depression glass and some of what they call what was it, Vaseline glass, has a tiny bit of uranium in it. So a lot of people will bring these with to go look at stuff. I think one of these rings, this one, those are little sapphires or something around it because they glow. It's hard to see in this light, but they change under the black light. And I don't know what the main stone is. Some kind of turquoise, because that's a real turquoise there. This one. I don't know where I got it. But this could be a simulated stone. I have no idea. And I probably didn't even pay that much for it because it's silver. And, you know, these are those little blue diamonds. It's like a pave, they call it. And I saw some at K Jewelers, and they were the Mickey Mouse hat earrings, and they matched this exactly. But I didn't buy them because they were like $400, and maybe I'm cheap. You know? But I'd like to get them someday so I can be like, match it, and I can be like Mickey Mouse and Fantasia. And I have guitar picks, and I don't know why. I was getting my violin restored. I'm like, dude, I'll take one of those. And I don't play guitar. My son does, but I don't. I'm like, well, if my son comes to visit, I can say, hey, look, buddy, I got a guitar pick for you. The other ones I've had over the years, too, and it was for the same reason. If Sean comes to visit, and he says, I don't have a guitar pick, I'll be like, I got you covered. Anyway, and that's a lapis. A friend of mine sent a bunch of stuff to me years ago because she was closing up her shop, and she had some rocks there. She did pottery and stuff, and she sent me a whole package of rocks and cool stuff. Because rock hounds will give each other stuff. If they get extra, they'll trade or whatever. So it's kind of a fun community. You just got to watch out if you're a woman, because there's a tiny, tiny subset of guys who will be like, oh, you're talking to me? Send me your booby pictures. And I'm like, what? What? Do people really do that? I guess they do. And I'm like, you don't want mine. I'm like 12 years older than you, dear. And he goes, I don't care. And I'm like, I think we need to part ways, son. So be careful out there, ladies. And guys, don't do that. If you're talking to a lady on the internet, don't ask her for her booby pictures. That's wrong. That's not the way to get a girl, okay? Talk to her like a human being first. Anyway, I don't agree with all that stuff, because what happens if you break up and then they show it to everybody on the internet or something? Just don't do it, okay? I had new photos taken of me by my ex, and I got the negatives back and I cut them all off, because I'm like, the dude might have posted them online or might not, but fortunately it was negatives and not this digital stuff. I barely used to this iPhone. I got it for free though, so I can't complain. Anyway, that's my story. I'm a magpie. I have lots of stuff. I just don't have any closets, so it's not my fault.